Welcome to the third annual Soroptimist Friendship Meeting. My name is George Hallett. I'm the president of the Chabot Business Club here on this campus. We are hosting it, and what our attempt here is to provide a space, a opportunity to give you what you need to facilitate this wonderful meeting, and also for our students who are in the back with their blue DECA shirts.
Everybody, raise your hands.
And they are here to support you and gain some valuable experience in the business world as professionals, as young adults, and also to make sure that they get to see the product of some of their labor and some of the things that we practice and study in our DECA club. For those of you who have not been to Chabot campus, it's a beautiful campus, small, but really reaches a lot of people, a lot of members, and it's a springboard for many students, for many adults to other universities, and 4 years around California and other places.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
Thank you. Okay, I'm going to get started. What I want to tell you is that for those people who are here, there's a little housekeeping. You have free parking if you register for free parking. Otherwise, they will have to find me, and I will have to find you. So if you didn't bring something, or it's not easy to do, or you don't have this piece of paper, then tell our staff in the back there where you registered what your license plate number is. Just put your name and the license plate number. And then you won't, if you have a ticket on your car, you won't worry about it. Okay? Does that make sense? Okay. So there were 3 pieces of paper you got, everyone, and people online. You got this piece of paper, which was the agenda. I've had to add a few last-minute items to the agenda, but we'll go through this as we go through the presentations. And then the third thing that people who are in the room got, and we'll put this later out with the information, because we have Chabot TV here. Can we show Chabot TV anywhere? Where are you guys?
He's not back there.
He's not back there. Okay. We don't have our technician to show you. Chabot TV is here because they are filming this. We're one of the few community colleges in the state and the one that has the most state-of-the-art facilities to be able to record this kind of event. So this is an amazing college. It's an amazing place and has great resources. And so we're taking full advantage of them today in what we're doing. So the third piece of paper, which I'll talk about at the end, which is Open Heart, Open Doors. How many people have heard of Open Heart, Open Doors? Raise your hands. Okay, so we'll be going over that because this is one of the ways of communication that we want to be sure that we extend information about. The theme of today's meeting is really inspiration. And by that, I left it wildly open for people to do that, okay? By that, I mean, I said, come, bring your presentations, talk to us. Let's get together as whoever can come. And you see the number of people here online. It's utterly amazing. You'll also have information about them later on. But we have such a full agenda, I want to get us started. Let's see. So just for the people in the room, I'm sorry I can't extend this. We don't know how to feed you virtually yet, but maybe that'll come from AI one day. But what we have in the room is we have some food provided by our wonderful sponsor, Sonia. Sonia, are you here? She just stepped out to do something for us. She's feeding us today. She came to this meeting last year in this room. She came to me afterwards and said, I want to be a Soroptimist. And we will initiate her here today. Okay? Okay, so what I'm going to do is play. Now, you may have heard this song, but can I get some help to move the screen? Just move to the list. This music struck me so much in my heart, and you may have heard it because it's been going around. But okay, I'm going to play this music to remind us about what we're doing here today. So can we do that? Hang on a second. Technology is, we got to share it, right? And we have to share it with audio. Yeah. Do we share it with audio? Can you hear it? Okay.
In 1921, a voice was found for women of courage with hearts safe and sound. Soror and Optima, sisters who rise for freedom and justice, for hope that survives. Soroptimist, a voice that is strong, a global power that teaches along. We stand for peace, we stand for the right, with friendship and courage, we shine in the light. Through every project with faith we believe, in learning and health, a future we weave, against every shadow of violence and wrong. We lift up each woman, make every voice strong. The UN will listen when we take the floor. From Norway and outward, our voices will soar. We're building together, we're sharing our dream for children and justice, a bright future gleam. A voice that is strong, a global power that teaches along. We stand for peace, we stand for the right, with friendship and courage, shine in the light. Sing out our hope, let the fire remain, for women and children, for justice to reign. Soroptimist, with faith and with might, a global voice for hope burning bright. We stand for peace, we stand for the right, with friendship and courage, we shine in the light. Soroptimist.
That was my first inspiration for today. That I found this, and it's just come at exactly the right time. I do see that this is being shouted around the world. There are some vehicles that are showing it. You'll hear about the chat line today. You'll hear about other places. But it's an amazing thing that we're trying to do. I'm going to try a couple of experiments here. One of them is going to be that, let's see, is Jillian here? Jillian, okay, stand up, Jillian. Can we catch her? Okay. I'm going to show you a heart that she created, a word cloud heart. So can we bring that up? The word cloud heart. This is a little bit of technology stuff we have to deal with, so, okay. Let's see, can you do that from here? What Jillian did was we were talking about how we get inspired and how we might be able to do that as a group. And we're partially there, today she created this beautiful view of the heart. And let's see, nope. Nope. That's not it. There it is.
Yeah.
She created this beautiful heart. What you do with word art is people get together and they collaborate, and they say things that are meaningful to them, and then it's put in a shape. Okay? Isn't that beautiful? Now, it's partial technology because lots of things are evolving, but I will be able to send you a copy of this if you would like to have it. It's a wonderful, pretty image. We're going to try to create one here today as well, but we have to use another technology to gather your input. So we'll have an opportunity while we're here to think about 3 words that Soroptimism mean to your heart, okay? So just put that in the back of your mind. We will have times when we're going to be doing that, all right? So we'll do that. I'll have a couple of breaks. I'll have a time when you will go together in break rooms, and those in the room will be at the tables, and you'll introduce yourselves to each other. We'll have a bunch of communication, not too long because we have a full agenda. Okay, so the next thing and so you'll be participating in that today. And Sonia has brought us also lunch pizza, but this is her own homemade version from India of some food that goes with your coffee. So please join us with that. And so then the next thing I want to do, you may not know this, but this college is on sacred Ohlone Indian ground. And so because of that, Patricia, can you come up? I needed to bring someone who had the capability. Oh, that's right, we've got five Patricias here. Okay, and what we like to do and what we try to do here at the college is remember that we are graced with using this land, okay? If you were here at the college, if you're not here at the college is in the shape of a mandala, so that kind of helps the spirit of things. Our library is actually built on the burial ground. So we're going to honor that with this acknowledgement.
Good morning, everyone. Chabot College respectfully acknowledges the original people of the lands on which this campus is built. For thousands of years and hundreds of generations, the Chochenyo people actively stewarded these lands to ensure they provided for all living things. This land on which Chabot was established was and continues to be of significance to the Muwekma Ohlone tribe. Today, we acknowledge the impact colonization had on the Chochenyo Muwekma Nation and recognize our responsibility to help them heal from this history and secure a sustainable future. Thank you.
One of the themes that I'm inspired by, and you'll hear a little bit more about this, so that... Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Is that better? Okay, sorry, just raise your hand and I'll remind to stay on cue. I want to next bring up Kenya, our president. Kenya brought it. And she's also going to introduce Bobby Enderlin, and you're here also, right? Yes, you want to come up? And I think you can use, if you want to, you can speak here, or you can use a microphone, whatever you'd prefer.
Good morning.
Good morning. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Good morning to everyone on Zoom or what the high technology that Dr. Cat has. I thank you guys all for attending our 3rd annual Friendship Link today. This is a great experience, especially I really enjoy this, to be able to meet all of our friend clubs all around the world and being able to see what they are doing for women and young girls. I would like to introduce our past governor, Bobby Enderlin, and I'm going to let her be able to say a few words before I do our induction.
Thank you very much. You know, I've always had a fondness for the idea of friendship links across the globe. I think that was one of the things when I was first a brand new member. I went to a leadership meeting, and they had one of the past presidents of SIA, she was talking about our work at the UN. And that's what kind of grabbed me. I mean, I've been a member for 25 years now, and I don't know what keeps me here so much. There's so much that keeps me here, but our involvement worldwide has done that. Now, my club in Benicia, we had a friendship link. Am I talking too close?
Yeah, it's just, there, fine now.
My club is over in Benicia, and one of our members a few years back was doing work over in Ghana. And she called me, she was a brand new member, and she said, I'm going to be working in Ghana for the next few years, and I was wondering if they have any Soroptimists over there. So, we did our little search, our Google search, and found there was a Soroptimist International of Accra in Ghana. And so she contacted them, went to their meeting, and told them about where she was from. And, well, to make a long story short, we became a friendship link with them. We talked to them about doing a joint project. And so they did something that was similar to what Days for Girls was, the period poverty, putting together the kits. And over the next few years, we helped fund their project because it was easier just to send them money. But they must have hit 2,000 or 3,000 girls. I'm still talking too close. 2,000 or 3,000 girls in a lot of rural areas. And so, I don't know, we felt like we really made an impact on a place clear across the world. So I encourage you to get more invested in what's going on in our global community. Also, Sharon Fisher asked me to mention the new project that Soroptimist International Foundation just funded some money towards the Lugari project, which is in Kenya. And she's over there now. I think she is on the Zoom call somewhere. But they're over in Kenya, and it's a fabulous project. I think they're doing an education and leadership program for about 250 girls there. And over the last few years with her President's Appeal project, they actually, I'm still too close, huh?
You're fine.
No, you're fine right there.
Okay.
You're fine.
I tend to push the podium. So they actually started a new club in that area in Kenya, and those members are sponsoring another new club, I understand, this year. So I just wanted to give you just a little glimpse of and of course now I'm serving on the Soroptimist International Board as a director, which has been a really eye-opening experience to be part of something so big. And so thank you very much for listening, and I'm so happy to be here. Thank you, Catherine.
Thank you so much. Miss Sonia, can you come up front, please? I want to personally thank you for all of the hard work that you have done with Dr. Kat on putting this friendship link together and being able to sponsor our food for today, and for all the help that you did last year for our event as well. And we're so happy to have you as a new member. So today we are celebrating the induction of our new member, Sonia Mai, into the Soroptimist International of Oakland, the Founders Club. Our Soroptimist vision is that women and girls will have the resources and opportunities to reach their full potential and live their dreams. Our Soroptimist mission is to provide women and girls with access to the education and training they need to achieve economic empowerment. By becoming a member of this international organization, you are having an impact on the lives of women and girls who can benefit most from our life-changing programs. Soroptimist International works at a local, national, and international level to educate, empower, and enable opportunities for women and girls. You are also a member of a federation, Soroptimist International of the Americas, sometimes referred to as SIA. Our Federation's identifying project is our Live Your Dream Education and Training Awards for Women program. This program aids women seeking to improve their economic status by gaining additional training in education. Our region this biennium is Soroptimist Putting the Puzzle Together. As we continue upon our second century of improving the lives of women and girls, we must put all the people and programs of our organization together so we can create a beautiful picture and have a sustainable impact on those who have yet to need our help and support. As a token of your membership, the members of your club, SI Oakland, the Founders Club, present to you a Soroptimist pin to wear on the left side above your heart. The pin represents your commitment to your mission and vision and to empowering women and girls to live their dreams by giving them the resources to create a positive change for themselves, their families, their communities, and their world. On behalf of Founder Region, I present you with a new member bookmark to help you keep your mission front and center at all times. I would also like to present your sponsor, Dr. Catherine Pincus, with all the appreciation in the world for bringing you into our club. So we thank you, and we look forward to all the work you and resources you have to help us. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Kenya calls me Dr. Cat because I brought her in too. I was her professor.
She was.
And we're going to get you to Kenya.
Yes, and she said work was being done in Kenya. I'm like, I'm here. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's see, I guess I go back here. Okay, so now in some case, I'm going to ask each time because I can't see everybody who's on Zoom, but the next thing that is coming up is Sue Riney's video. And Sue, are you here? I'll just ask. If I get silence, then we will go to your video, which is what she sent. Okay, let's do the video. So Sue is going to speak with you now from about SIA. Okay, can you play that? See why I have a helper for technology?
Welcome, everyone, and on behalf of the entire SIA Board of Directors, many thanks to SI Oakland for hosting today's wonderful event. I bring greetings from Whidbey Island in Washington State, where I am a member of SI Oak Harbor. When you see this, I'm going to be in Krakow, Poland, where I'm attending the SI of Europe's Congress, and we're in the midst of their final gala evening celebration. But if the opportunity arises to join you live, I will be sure to do so. Now, it's always a joy to connect with Soroptimists from around the world, and it proves that our shared commitment to helping women and girls achieve their dreams knows no borders. Our mission, at the very heart of each of us as Soroptimists, is to improve the lives of women and girls. This singular, profound objective resonates deeply, whether you're a member in Oak Harbor, in Vancouver, in Oakland, in London, in Nairobi, wherever you are in a Soroptimist club around the globe. We are all bound by this common thread, a collective commitment to creating a world where every woman and girl has the opportunity to reach her full potential. Now just think of the impact we've made and continue to make through 104 years of diverse projects. From advocating for gender equality and access to education, to combating violence and providing economic empowerment, our actions, big and small, are transforming lives. Each initiative, Each volunteer hour, each voice raised in advocacy contributes to a global tapestry of change woven by the hands and hearts of Soroptimists worldwide. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres shared the following call to action for all of civil society, and that includes Soroptimists, at CSW 69, the Commission on the Status of Women, this past March. He said, and I quote, "Let's never forget that inequality is a question of power. We still live in a male-dominated world with a male-dominated culture, and power is never given. It must be taken. Together, we must seize it. And for those who ask how, the answer lies in this room: energy, commitment, and determination. All of us who care about equality must come together, organize, and mobilize to push the world to deliver, with every one of us playing our part." I want to reinforce that key message in his words, that equality isn't given, it's taken. And together, we must seize it. The collaboration of Soroptimists around the world is the superpower we have to help us seize equality. The relationship between our federations, Soroptimist International, the Americas, Europe, Africa, Southeast Asia, Pacific, and Great Britain and Ireland, and in partnership with Soroptimist International, is not merely a formality, it's the very engine of our global impact. When we share our best practices like you're doing today, when we learn from each other's successes and failures or challenges, and when we amplify each other's voices on international platforms, we become an unstoppable force. This collaboration allows us to tackle complex issues with a unified front, to leverage diverse perspectives, and to extend our reach far beyond what any single club or even federation could achieve alone. It is in this spirit of partnership and mutual support that we truly embody the international in our name. I ask that you truly acknowledge and understand how powerful we can be. Let us be inspired by the knowledge that your efforts are part of a much larger global movement. Our collaboration with Soroptimists around the world is our strength. Our shared mission is our guide. And together, we will continue to build a brighter, more equitable future for women and girls everywhere. Thank you, and I wish you the best for a great time today together.
Now, I believe Tanya is in the room, and we'll bring up her slideshow, please. And would you prefer this mic, or would you prefer
I
this?
think I'm okay.
Okay.
I can project. Thank you.
We need the microphone. Yeah, the handheld one.
You need, okay, got it.
Won't be able to hear
Oh.
anywhere.
On the, gotcha.
Well, I think it was a perfect segue from our President Sue to Soroptimist representative to the Soroptimist International Global Impact Committee, and that's me. And that has to do with CSW. If you could advance the next slide, please. Or do I?
There.
So, the Commission on Status of Women, some of you here may have been an attendee in the past, and what it kind of brings together is 1,500 NGOs with about 5,800 representatives. And those causes all have to do with 13,000 participants that go for about 2 weeks to New York. I can do that. If
You can do that?
Yeah, sure. Now that I know what I'm doing. Yes.
It's not working. Okay. Great.
So The SDGs, and I know there's a lot of acronyms here, are the Sustainable Development Goals, and that's part of the UN, and there are 5 that basically target what we adapt our mission and align with. No poverty, quality education, gender equality, decent work and economic growth, and reduced inequalities. The UN Summit brings together these 17 SDGs for us to then move forward in our presence, in our advocacy, in our roles as Soroptimists. This was some of the delegates that appeared when I was there last year. And you can see our SI President, Sue, in regards to one of the things I want to point out, the change of one word, and that's the word all. I used to read in this banner, for women and girls' rights, equality, and empowerment. The word all encompassed whether you identified as a female in one role as a girl or as a woman, or how you identified. I don't want to be political. The word all encompassed where a girl is those that are underage, a woman is basically somebody who becomes childbearing. So what happens after you are no longer childbearing? Hence the word all. So it also lended how you identified. So it took them 5 years to add that one word. So we're on this mission, right? This is part of the impact when you're there. You have 2 options, and one of the options is to attend and participate in any of the parallel events, which is kind of off campus, which we call the UN. But this is what you're involved in, and this is part of the policy making that Soroptimist has in alignment with the United Nations. And how powerful is that? So when SIA and SI is asking for your data, your information all feeds here, whether or not you're participating in your Dream It Be It, how many women, how many girls you're supporting through any of your grants that you're giving, what is it that you're doing in your communities. All that information is taken and utilized. So when they're saying, I'm going to cut education, SIA can say, but this is the impact we've had in our Live Your Dream Awards. And this is the progress that we're making in our communities as a whole. Some of these women in this room are the founders that first started in Beijing 30 years ago. And I just thought that just this picture alone was so powerful, and the fact that women in power getting 50-50 to the table. And that's what they're basically going to want to acknowledge and exchange. Where are we at in that equal partnership, as we heard from Sue? When we talk about friendship links, this was somebody that I met while we were there. And she is involved in STEM programs in Africa. And our club has been in negotiations and in communications with her to say, how can we get involved, like Bobby had said. Partnerships, relationships take us to different places. And it was just amazing. I had said, as I earlier had come in, was that I felt like I was amongst 15,000 Soroptimist members when you were in the room, although we probably had a little more than 150 delegates that were there that represented Soroptimists. But every single woman that was there, and man, was there to heighten education, was there to heighten something in relationship with women. Past President Ginger and I, we took place or participated in my first walk, and we were down in New York City, and I just thought this was pretty phenomenal in the fact that we landed up at Trump Towers. And this is kind of some of the parallel events that you can participate in. Somebody asked me, because they're wanting to participate, what do I do? So while you're there, you have parallel events. Building the Legacy of Beijing Declaration was part of the main focus because we were there for the Beijing 30, but empowerment, connecting voices, shaping tomorrow for young women and pioneering change for equality. It is just phenomenal. Some of the key takeaways is the advocacy. And what I mean by that is your voice. What do you do after today? Do you remain silent? Do you take it back to your club? How do you take that a step farther? How do you get that invite to that chair in the room so your voice is heard? And I think that's the important part, is you can do that in a school setting, you can do that on a school board, you can do that as a Soroptimist within your club, within the organization. When you're asked to serve, say yes. When you're asked to participate, say yes. I never, in my wildest dreams, ever thought that little kid from the south side of town, me, with the single parent that was raising me, would be here before you today. But I watched women. I watched women that were powerful. I watched women that I knew could be my mentor. I got involved in Soroptimist a little over 20-something years ago when my daughter left for college. You all, every single one of you, have taught me something in my role as a leader. And that's what I want you to understand and realize is the power that you have to change somebody's life. That power in that one little word, all. It means so much to us. Get involved in politics. Get involved whether it's not at the city level or the county level, the board of supervisors. Make sure your voices are heard. Get that invite to the table. Say yes when Soroptimist comes knocking on your door to serve. That's why I got where I'm at today, is I said yes. Advocacy, what are we about? Follow our mission, follow your heart. You will make a change in someone's life. I want to thank you for this opportunity. If you have questions, I think there's one more slide. Yes, this is why I came. CSW is going to be in March 9th, the 20th. It did get issued in the October e-newsletter. You all should be receiving an email from SIA headquarters. And in this Best for Women article, it's going to have this access to frequently asked questions for your training materials. Here's my content information. How do you apply? You click the link. It's a survey. You're going to have some time to spend on the survey because there's probably 200, I don't want to call it applications, 200 surveys that we will receive. And it's a selection as to how many delegations we receive, that those get selected to participate. It's at your own cost, of course. But again, be part of that room. Be part of those voices that you can hear. So you bring back to clubs and you can get yourself engaged in our mission. So if you have any questions, please see me on one of the breaks. It's a phenomenal opportunity. It's a wonderful time. You experience relationships that just are going to make a big change in your life. Thank you.
For those of you that have been letting us know that we've stretched the technology maybe a little too far, some people are experiencing low volume on their cell phones and some glitching in their own systems. I do want to let you know the reason I'm filming this is because we have good sound on this film. And when we invited you, it meant that I will send you a link to this video when it's done. You will not miss one word of what we're saying here. Okay? So my apologies. I am taking this as far as I can in terms of technology. Chabot College is on the backbone of the entire internet system. So this is why I'm trying to make it happen here in this place at this time. Thank you. Okay, I don't think Chris Knight, you are up, but I do not believe that you were able to make it, so we should go to her video, her MP4 file. Is this helping? You learning things? I hope so. I am. Okay, thank you.
Wanya, welcome to Gubby Gubby Cabby Cabby Land It's Chris Knight. I'm a member of Soroptimist International, Morton North. I've belonged to the organisation for 39 years, and it's a testament to the global friendship that is established around the world. I can thank Kate Moore, who is the SI Chatliner list owner and my cyber godmum, for exposing me to the world of international friendships. I joined in 1998, and since that time I've had the pleasure of working with and travelling, staying with Soroptimists all over the world. I love our club. We have a great diversity of members from different countries and cultures, and they also have embraced the international aspect of the organisation. It's a wonderful opportunity, and I thank you for inviting me to be part of the SI Founder Club Friendship celebrations this weekend. The founding members of this organisation did have a very forward-looking strategy for uniting women around the world. And for me, we're not a brand, we're not a product. We are a global movement of dedicated women. And that's the key to it all. Because the power of women, when they connect with each other, when they share, when they get to see the needs, and they lean in and help, friendships form in the most unexpected places. So from my heart and home in Hobbit Haven, Deception Bay, Australia, I send you my greetings and best wishes, and I look forward to being part of the conference over the weekend. Namaste, Chris Knight.
So the next person up is Jenny Walker. All of these people who you're seeing with their videos did this because they were in some other Soroptimist activity and they really wanted to share, and participate. I don't think that was it. Okay, so Jenny, I don't think you're here, if that's correct.
I am here, but I think you're just going to show the film for me.
I will do that. We will do that right now. Thank you.
Catherine?
Yes?
It's Chris Knight, sorry. There was just one small thing I wanted to add.
Okay,
in my
go for
little 5 minutes. I just wanted to mention that in 2020, when I went over to CSW in New York as part of a delegation, there was this little pandemic called COVID that chased us out of New York. I got to the UK to stay with Anne Gregfield and Hilary Laidler, and then I had to make a hasty trip back to Australia because all the borders were closing and it was going to be very difficult to get home. So when I did get home, I created a Facebook page which was called Soroptimist International Social Isolation, and it was created selfishly because I wanted to stay in touch with all of my Soroptimist friends around the world. But I was also very concerned that many of them lived on their own, were going to be very isolated and lonely. So we set it up, and within the space of 3 or 4 days, we had over 1,100 members from 75 countries join. And we thought it would only be around for a couple of weeks, a couple of months. You know, it was just this little virus thing. And then, as we all know, everything closed down and people were, devastated with the loss of family and friends all around the world. We saw incredible devastation in many places. And this particular Facebook group kept everybody safe. It was where people could be vulnerable, where they could share things. And the beautiful thing about it was there was always someone online 24/7. We had a lot of fun together. We shared a lot of things together. We shared a lot of tears together as well. And each year in March, I put it to the members, is it still meeting a need? Is it still serving a purpose? And I keep getting a resounding yes, it does. So it is a closed group, and if anyone's interested in becoming part of it, just send me an email. And we've changed the name now to Soroptimist International Without Borders, Sans Frontières. So I've always had the view of being an international Soroptimist, and each of us are global ambassadors. And it's just been amazing, and as I said, I thank Kate, because it was the love and friendship that came out of being a chatliner that was the inspiration for taking it that one step further with Facebook. I'm not very technical savvy, but I can manage Facebook. So, Catherine, thank you so much, and congratulations to SI Oakland Founder Club. You know, the legacy lives on. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So Jenny, I'm going to still play the video, right? Where are you?
She said, yep.
Yep, okay. All right, let's play that video. We have one more after that, and then we're going to take a break where you get to actually talk to each other. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That was my first trip experience as a Soroptimist in India. You probably saw my little head poking out there. It was after a bad automobile accident, and when I went there, I was challenged, but it was the most wonderful experience, and it's the reason why I absolutely keep going with this, because it is so helpful. Judy, are you here? Judy Sanderlin? Yes, okay. And will you put up her PowerPoint, please? Mike.
Thank you.
Okay, let's see if we'll get you up here, and then I think you can just press this button and move it.
Perfect.
For slides, I believe.
All righty. Well, good morning, everyone. Good morning. It's a nice mix of online and in-person presentations, so obviously the expert here. I'm impressed by your technology skills, by the way.
Thank you.
You know, we have a lot of, I don't want to say older, but
If you're 78, you can learn this.
it's a very common excuse, and see, we're never too young or too old to learn something new, so. Well, good morning. My name is Judy Sanderlin. I'm here from very close by. I am a member of Soroptimist International San Francisco, and we are proudly the second oldest club at Soroptimist. Happy to be in the room with those of you that belong to the original club. I think our club was about 5 months behind, so not too much later.
I am also the governor currently of the Sierra Pacific region, and I just wanted to share this morning a little bit about some of the things that we're doing in our region to promote friendships. I'd like to just a tiny bit about me, not very much. It's so wonderful to see these women online from all around the world. As a child, I grew up in a military family, and I moved a lot. And I thought growing up I'd seen it all, but I never traveled. I was actually born outside of this country, but I came here when I was 3 months old, and I remember nothing. And so in my childhood and my vast experience of traveling and living all across the United States, I thought I was such a global person until I realized, obviously as an adult, I've never been overseas. So until the last 10 years or so, definitely a U.S. homebody, but Soroptimist is one of the things that has definitely opened my eyes to just how much we have in common with other women throughout this world. So anyway, it's my pleasure to be here this morning to talk a little bit about some of the things we're doing in our region. So that's what I'm going to talk about. Just for those of you who don't know, if you're familiar with California, many of you in this room, those of you online, maybe not, this is kind of the boundaries of our region. So we're surrounded by Founder Region, Golden West, Camino Real, and Sierra Nevada. So in terms of region geography within our federation, we're kind of small. We have members that think we're huge and spread out, and we know, and you know, when you look at other regions in our federation, we're actually one of the most compact and tightest regions. However, we still have a fair amount of geographic and demographic diversity. So we have the entire central coast of California and also the entire Central Valley. Very, very diverse, crossing mountains, okay, not mountains, hills to get to each other. And for those of you here from Founder Region, I have to cross through Founder Region all the time to visit the clubs in our region.
Judy, excuse me for interrupting. I beg your forgiveness, but the mic that you're using just simply does not work. And
Thank you for letting us know. We will switch it up.
The other mic really works.
Try that one.
So if the speakers could use that one, that would be greatly appreciated by us online. Thank you, thank you.
Is this better, Suzanne?
Infinitely.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for letting me know. So again, we're a very compact region, but we have many, many friendships outside of our region, obviously. One of the things I think we do best as Soroptimist, and our region is no exception, is collaborate. So we collaborate on things all of the time, right? We collaborate on Live Your Dream. So like many other regions, I'm sure, we have clubs that share applications with each other. You know, we really help each other out in making sure that as much money is available to be granted in Live Your Dream grants we're able to give out. We have clubs that work together to host workshops for helping women fill out their applications. Instead of every club trying to do that on their own, we try to take advantage of those that really have that passion and are very good at it. And we have clubs, multiple clubs that will participate in that. We also collaborate on Dream It Be It, as I'm sure some of you do. Dream It Be It is our conference for girls, high school girls, and we have many clubs that work together to co-host a Dream It Be It program. We also collaborate, and Suzanne can relate to this, by having an online club. So our online club is represented by members from throughout our region and even outside of our region. So that is a wonderful way to bring women in that maybe aren't close enough to another club to participate, or just don't have the physical capacity to travel sometimes. And our online club has been a great addition to bring in more women that maybe otherwise couldn't join a club. And what I love about our online club is when we do get to see them in person, when they join us at a district meeting or at a conference, definitely new friendships developed there. We also have our online club members visit any other club meeting that they want to. So they're actually, ironically, in many ways, more well-traveled than some of the rest of us because they really make an effort. We also collaborate with other regions. So we've worked with Desert Coast region on their Live Your Dream collaborative. If you don't know about that, you should find out more. They generously invited us to participate with them in that. We are looking into joining the what's called the Stat 2 program, which is Soroptimists Together Against Trafficking. That is a group from many of our clubs down in Southern California. And they're working to not just reduce, but to eradicate human trafficking. There are many, many more examples of collaboration. I'm sure that you do them as well. These are just a few examples from our region. One thing I wanted to talk about, because I believe it is unique to us, somewhat anyway, is our Virtual Leadership Academy. So like many other regions, we believe very much in leadership development. And in the past, we've done this in various ways. It could have been a weekend conference, could have been a Saturday morning, it could have been a Friday afternoon prior to our spring conference. We've, over the years, tried many different ways to provide leadership opportunities or development opportunities for the members in our region. But coming out of COVID, when we had all learned these amazing virtual skills, all invested in Zoom accounts, and perfected our ways to connect with each other, we decided to launch a virtual year-long leadership academy. So this was different for us because we had typically done it over the course of 1 or 2 days, and now this has been spread over the course of an entire club year. I point it out because from my perspective as the incoming governor-elect who was handed the Leadership Academy program, it was such a wonderful way to meet and connect with members that I probably wouldn't have seen otherwise. And so meeting new people made a huge difference for me incoming as I was able to identify future leaders for committee chair opportunities, committee membership, and even region board members. Over the course of 4 years, and we're on our 4th year right now, we have done over 85 individual workshops. And there are people in this room as well as online that have participated in those. And the reason I bring that up is we extended an invitation to all kinds of women, amazing mentors outside of our region to facilitate workshops for us. We have at least a couple in the room today. Tana, who's a past governor of our region, and Bobby, who is our past SIA president, both did workshops or multiple workshops in our academy over the course of this time. We have some women online as well. I believe Sharon Fisher's online. She was able to facilitate a workshop for us and help bring in a global perspective. One of the things that we focused on is learning things from these women experts, women with a lot of Soroptimist experience different than our own, to educate our leaders in the bigger picture. So for example, we did a whole series on the global aspect of Soroptimist. And we did cover workshops on some of the things you've already heard about this morning. So we learned about our relationship with the United Nations. We learned about the Commission on the Status of Women. We learned about Sustainable Development Goals. We learned about breaking down cultural barriers and language barriers and how to exist as Soroptimists when we don't speak the same language. We also have done a whole lot of just how to. How do I do this thing? How do I use Canva? How do I use Zoom? How do I apply for a nonprofit tax exemption, you name it, very technical stuff, as well as a series of roundtable discussions where our clubs could share with each other and get ideas from each other. We've also focused on very specific tougher kind of leadership topics. And the reason I bring that up is that has given us a common language to hold each other accountable, right? So last year, we did a whole series on courage and learning how to identify and face and overcome our fears. And this was very important to me as the governor because I'm hearing more and more still about conflict and civility within our clubs and how we treat each other and how we talk to each other, which none of us like or want. And so we had a lot of really tough conversations about holding each other accountable. And that, I think, has really bonded friendships among our clubs as well. I will end my discussion on the Virtual Leadership Academy by saying it is the single most thing that has helped me as governor to get to know people. It kind of creates more than just, spending a year, not, every day, but, 2 or 3 times a month with some of the same members learning together has really cemented and created friendships that I don't think I would have had otherwise. This is just kind of a little geographic, photo shot of what comprises our region. So again, and my point here is we, within our region, have some beautiful places, as many of our other, well, obviously everyone across the world. But I say this to say something else that's already been mentioned. We have a lot of visitors to our region. We have a lot of travelers coming into San Francisco. We have a lot of travelers coming into Yosemite. And every time people are coming, we often, I can say in my club in particular, we get a ton of requests to meet for lunch or coffee or dinner because we have Soroptimists traveling into our region. And Chris was referring to her Facebook friendship group, which is fantastic. And so this is another way to find, instant friends, right? You can say you're a Soroptimist, I'm coming to the city. Our club is the first to jump on that opportunity to welcome members from outside of our city, a club in our region, to come and visit with us. So please don't be afraid when you're traveling to look for a Soroptimist club, or if someone says to your club, hey, I'm going to be in town, I encourage you to really take advantage of that. Kind of the final thing I wanted to mention, which I don't even really have in the slides, is something that our region just did over this past summer. And we had our membership chair asked if we could do a region cruise. And the point of the cruise was simply to get away from the work post-conference to just spend time together and have fun. And we set out to do that. We ended up with a smaller group than we originally hoped, but we had 27 members of our region that went on a cruise simply to relax and get to know each other better. We had a member who at the last minute made little buttons for us. I wish I had brought it. And it just had our S logo on it. It said, ask me about the S. And we wore that all when we boarded the ship. And I can't even tell you how many people asked us, what does the S mean? And so by even the evening of our first day, we were known. There were 5,000 passengers on the ship plus crew. And they knew, oh, are you the Soroptimist? Almost everywhere we went. And so I was really proud of our members for showing up really under the guise of just relaxing and having fun, which we did. But a beautiful outcome was just this awareness about who we are and what we do. We adopted a gentleman along the way who was traveling with his 16-year-old daughter, who was a lovely, confident young woman, and she ditched him. And so he hung out with us the rest of the time, but it gave us a good chance to talk about the importance of his role in raising his daughter, right? And we recruited shamelessly. 3 members for 3 different regions. There was a woman from Mexico, a woman from our region, from San Jose area, and then someone from Arkansas. So we put her in touch with the club down there. And I think there was a 4th one from Florida. So that, again, not the purpose of our trip and an unexpected outcome, but I think the warmness, the friendliness, the camaraderie, the bonding among our members really shone. And we had people that didn't even necessarily know each other, ranging in age from 29 to 79, who got along beautifully. And it was a perfect example of how generations can do things together, can get along, and can learn from each other. And that's what happened. And I mention that simply because you never know, where you are when you're talking about Soroptimists, what kind of impact you can have. I think that's my last slide. Yes, ma'am.
If we're interested in knowing more about the leadership, if we log into Sierra Pacific, is that where the link is?
Yes, so we have recorded most of our workshops over the years. So we have our own Sierra Pacific Region Leadership Academy YouTube channel where we publish the majority of them. I'm happy to share that with you. And the link is on our website along with our schedule for this current year. You're welcome. Thank you for inviting me. It was such a pleasure to be here with my friends that are so close by. Thank you.
All right, so now we're going to try a technology thing, another thing, which means, in this room, it means you're going to get up and find two people you've never met or don't know and say hello. And in the break rooms, Melissa, how many people do we have online? Do we know?
We have 41 people right now.
Okay, so let's put 5 in each room, randomly chosen, to spend the next 15 minutes meeting each other. Susan, are you here?
I am here. I'm just out of the breakout room.
Oh, good. You see your stuff on the screen, I think. We're just out of our room activities too. So this is great. So this is this is something that is very close to my heart. She's going to talk about the things that they are doing with helping Indigenous women and girls. And since you're standing on ground that resonates from here, with that very strong sense of importance, I wanted you to hear this because I'm so inspired by it, and hopefully you will be too.
All right.
Okay, so I think
Thank you, Catherine.
Okay.
Now,
can you move your PowerPoint, or do we need to move it for you?
well, if I share my screen, I can go to my PowerPoint, or can I don't know how I can move this PowerPoint. Do I have to?
We can do it. You just tell us.
Okay. Yep. Okay. Awesome. Well, thank you, Catherine. I'm so pleased to be here. And I am joining you from the traditional and unceded territory of the Tsleil-Waututh Nation. I'm on Hawaii, or the Skeety Island, British Columbia. And I'm a member of Soroptimist Canada West Online. We reach actually from coast to coast, and one of our special missions is to walk with Indigenous women and girls. So this is the first page of our introduction that we've sent to several Indigenous women leaders in Canada. Next slide. So let me back up a bit. We decided to leverage...
See you, by the way. Do you have a camera on, by chance?
I do have a camera on, but it's okay that you can't see me.
We will see you
sure.
at the end, please. Okay.
Yeah. So we decided to leverage our lack of a single community and to reach women and girls in the northern and more remote areas of Canada, who are far from a Soroptimist club, and to do it online. So our first step was to form our Truth Before Reconciliation Learning Circle, to which we invited other Soroptimists. And for about 6 months, we met to discuss the videos and the lessons and the books that we committed to addressing. And there were some really excellent Canadian resources, and I imagine there are in the U.S. and other colonial countries. And I personally believe that we settler women have a responsibility to learn history and reality from an Indigenous context. Next slide. So now we are asking Indigenous women, how can we best be of service in partnership with what we bring and what we can learn? And we crafted this presentation with the help of a Soroptimist in another club who's worked with Indigenous communities for 30 years, and we learned a lot. Just putting this presentation together. So next slide. One of the opportunities, of course, is financial awards. And in addition to Live Your Dreams, my old club, SI Victoria West Shore, created the Quetlal Award. And a Quetlal is the camas lily, which is very important in Coast Salish culture. And they created it because Indigenous women tended to assume that the awards would go to white women, so why bother applying? So the Quetlal is specifically for Indigenous women. And it was a year-long process to work with elders to create it and launch it. SI Central Alberta is about to give its first Indigenous Education Award, and our club, Canada West Online, is working on one as well. And I think this is just a really important step in reconciliation. Next slide. Then there's Dream It Be It. And one of our members, who is now at university, comes from the PA, Manitoba, which is a remote community. So she put us in touch with her guidance counselor at the high school, and we delivered AI and You, which was created by one of our members. And it has some short video clips. It has some interviews and Q&A with some live Q&A with some terrific experts. So we're delivering that again this year. And part of our vision is to create more courses like AI and You that we can present certificates for. And, you know, they could be on anything. They could be on advocacy or environment or adulting or dealing with discrimination and microaggressions or resilience or project management, anything. So, and they can tie into another project of ours, which is the Virtual Career Library. Next slide. The Virtual Career Library started during COVID, and as a way to have an online Dream It Be It. It became a region project, and we added about 30 or 40 women to it. And here you can see the homepage on the left. And if you click on the Careers tab, you can see the different categories of careers. And if you click on STEM, and we can go to the next slide. Here are some of the women represented. So each career role model, as we call them, has a page with a video, and they're interviewed and asked questions that the girls told us were important to them about their career, what they love about it, what their journey has been. You can go to the next slide, what obstacles they've overcome and how, what advice they would give. And there's also a photo, a bio, any website links, extra photos, perhaps a favorite quote. And you can go to the next slide. When we first envisioned it, we wanted girls to be able to ask questions and the women to respond. So it's set up like a blog with a comment section. And we're not sure we're going to continue this, but for now it is there. Now you'll see that Dawn's bio speaks to her indigeneity. And our major project over this summer was to partner with an organization called Social Venture Circuit, which helps mostly businesses to create social enterprises. So through the Canada Summer Jobs program, we were able to hire a young Indigenous woman, she's in grade 12 this year, to work on the Virtual Career Library. And she attended workshops with Social Venture Circuit throughout the summer. And two of us guided her, and she hunted for, found, and solicited Indigenous women across Canada in a multitude of careers to be career role models in the Virtual Career Library. She interviewed them, she edited the interviews, she gathered all the material needed, And in total, she added 33 Indigenous women to the library, including Mary Simon, who is the Governor General of Canada. She's an Inuk woman from Nunavut territory. So next slide. Here is Brianna, who I've squashed. She's not that shape. I squashed her. I'm sorry, Brianna. Here she is at the beach, surrounded by some of the career role models that she recruited. She has a singer, a chef, a doctor, a lawyer, some entrepreneurs, an architect, a member of provincial legislature, a makeup artist, a therapist, a firefighter. And the women all agreed and recommended other women because they want young Indigenous women to see that they can be anything they want to be. And that's the message, right? Of Dream It, Be It. You can have a dream, you can fulfill it, you can overcome the obstacles, you're not limited in your future. So now we are forming a girls' advisory committee of Indigenous girls in high schools and working with those Indigenous schools to present a virtual Dream It, Be It based on these remarkable women in the virtual career library. And next summer, we hope to repeat this project with another young woman to add more women to the library. And also, well, actually, my vision is that a number of clubs will get on board on this in Western and hopefully Eastern Canada and make this a national project and a national library of women. And I would like to see, we would like to see women of every color, every culture, every sexual orientation, every just every ableness to be part of it, because if I can see it, I can be it, right? So now, have you guys got the last slide, or is this the last slide? I bet. Is there one more slide to show?
Sorry,
Okay.
that's the last slide.
Okay, so then my last slide didn't get to you. So
I'm so sorry.
No, that's okay.
You
Let
can
me
share
see
your
if
screen if you want.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Because I have one more thing to show you folks, and that is this.
Yes.
So a complete non sequitur. I also want to invite everyone to a truly great film. On October 24th, 50 years ago, over 90% of the women in Iceland went on strike, and they refused to work, to feed their families, to look after the kids. And that action propelled Iceland to be the most gender equal country in the world. And this film is the story of that day. And our club, Canada West Online, is hosting a viewing on Zoom tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock Pacific. So that's 2 o'clock Eastern, 7 p.m. in the UK. I think it'll be 8 o'clock for you folks in Italy. And the film has absolute rave reviews. It's full of joy and inspiration. So you can register with this link. And if you don't want to copy that link, if you just go on your browser to Event Create, not Eventbrite, but Event Create Iceland, or the day Iceland stood still, it'll pop up. And we're asking for a $20 donation to go towards our outreach to northern and remote girls. And I hope to see many of you there. And now, if we have a few minutes, I'm happy to take any questions, and I'm just going to stop my share. There we go.
I think this is wonderful. I'm so glad that you're doing this and that we brought up this Iceland documentary. I've got my fundraising major hat on, thinking about how having a film festival might be something that we could do as a collective group. But go see this one on Sunday. I hear nothing but rave reviews about it from anybody who's already seen it. And I intend to see it tomorrow morning myself. So I want to thank you so much, and for for adding that extra slide. I wanted it, but I received my last presentation at 3:45 this morning. So it's a journey, and I'm glad we got this in. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So let's see. Do I have is Rev here, and is my South African American group here? So this is the Mia King. I was again a little bit having trouble getting this one going. Here's the friendship link. Is anybody here online to deliver this PowerPoint? We were having some difficulty getting that. And I think it's just a PowerPoint. Not just, but a PowerPoint. So we may have to put this off, or if you, Melissa, if you see them coming online, please let me know and I'll move it to another part of the agenda.
We are here, Catherine. Hi.
Okay. Yay. Okay, so do you see the PowerPoint?
Yes, I can see that.
I'm crossing my fingers that I get to see these people. I'm going between a spring semester and summer classes. I'm going to try to travel to see these folks this summer with a plan to come in September of 2027 with as large a group of Soroptimists as I can get a hold of. Okay, go ahead, my dear.
Okay, yes, I'll just tell you to move the slide as I talk into it. First off, let me just take this opportunity and say good morning, good evening, good afternoon to everyone all around the world. My name is Kilebogile and I am from South Africa in a beautiful town called Mahikeng. I think you can move on to the next slide. And as you do that, I had a wonderful opportunity of meeting Bridget from Bristol in the breakout room, and also Shukla from India. And as we were talking, I realized that I am not unique. You know, sometimes you go through something and you think that it's only you happening. So we shared a few challenges and we shared a few solutions. So at least we know that in sisterhood, you know, you are not alone, and there's always someone who knows what you are going through. So thank you so much to Bridget and Shukla. So what I have here is a little map of our beautiful country, South Africa, just to show you Mahikeng is just that little small town. As you go up, you know, it borders on Botswana, Namibia, Zimbabwe, Mozambique, Lesotho, and Swaziland. So that's where we are. Just wanted to give some perspective so that those who don't know where we are, that is where we are. And then you can move to the next slide. And we are still a very small local club, but trying so much, trying our best to make a huge impact and put a smile, you know, on people in our communities. And our biggest mandate right now, what we are working on, is the cervical cancer survivor project. So we are working with a local hospital, a public hospital, where all the women from mostly the rural areas go to get care. You know, so most of them, when they get there, the rural hospital that we have or the provincial hospital that we have currently in our town, it doesn't have facilities for chemotherapy or for radiation for these women as they are diagnosed. So for them, it's just to identify, diagnose, create awareness, and then they have to travel overnight to other cities, if I can say so. And most of these cities that they travel to, they are 2 hours, 3 hours away, and they travel by bus. And most of them, they have to come and wait at the hospital up until the bus comes. So where we come in is we collaborated with the doctor. You can see in the picture there, and the nurses at the center. That is the house where they take care of them. And what we did is we talked to them and asked them, what is it that these patients need? And because they wait there for a long time, so we came up with what we call a comfort pack. So inside the comfort pack, it will be a little snack and water and juice and all those things that they need as they are waiting, because they wait for a long hour up until the transport arrives so that it can take them to the hospital in another city for them to get treatment and then be driven back again. So you can imagine after getting that treatment and driving back in a bus going back. So that is where we come in just to try. That is why we call it a comfort pack, just to try and help them, somewhere where we can see that we can come in. And then we can move on to the next slide, Catherine. So this is a continuation. So what we did is we met with the management of the local hospital, and then we spoke to them about creating a space for these women, because currently they were sharing a space with the maternity ward. So we wanted a space for them, so that is where we can be able to assist them and make sure that we give them all the assistance that they need. So we started talking with the hospital to allocate. So they have finally allocated. If you see that house there, it's a 4-bedroom house. It has 2 living rooms, 2 bathrooms, a fully working kitchen and all that. So we are in the process of equipping it with things that will really make them to be able to wait as they wait for transport. Someone who is going through this journey of this disease, it's not a nice one. So we are just trying to make them as comfortable as we can. So this is the house that we have been allocated to, and we are in the process of just making sure that we make it a proper comfortable space for them to be able, that even if I'm going through something like this, but then there's something that's been done on the other side. We can move on to the next slide. Okay, and this was the cancer day that they had, because we are always raising awareness and all things like that. So as and when they have events at the hospital, they bring us in, and then the sisters, those that are available, then they will go and spend the day with them. And maybe I can talk a little bit into the way that you see the sisters that are dressed in this picture. You can see that they have those nice scarves around them. So those scarves is one of the projects that we have also in the local villages. So they are made by a disability center that we work with. So the children and the people who are disabled in the community, each and every morning they go to the center, they teach them how to sew and all those things. So every time we have something that we want done, we take it to them, so that at least they are sustainable and they keep on raising funds so that the center can be kept running. So the children in the village, the disabled children and all those who have other mental challenges and other challenges, they go to the center in the morning where they get taken care of, and in the afternoon then they can go home. So this is how they sustain themselves. So this is one of the projects that we are also involved in. So I just thought I should talk into that, because the scarves, they are very nice, and that is what they are doing for us. We can move on to the next slide. This is not all that we do. So my background, I'm an academic. I'm a lecturer at the university here. So what we do as well, we help in our communities with career guidance. So we go into the most rural of high schools where they don't have facilities like guidance counselors and such facilities. We advise them on which careers to follow. We do what we call a career key, just to test which career it is that they can follow, which subjects that they can do into going into that particular career. So this is when we went to one of those high schools. So we help them and we work with their teachers, so that we ensure that at least we are making a difference in someone, so that they choose a career. And even as we do that, some of our members have been recruited through those things, because as and when we go into those schools, those teachers, they can see the work that we are doing, and then they want to become members, and then they join us. So that is one way of recruiting people. When people see that you are trying to make a difference in people's life, then they want to become a part of that nice thing that you are doing. We can move on to the next one. Okay, so here we are also working with an old age home. It's called La Palabotle. Translated into English, it means that a home for everyone. So this is a home for senior citizens where the children are not able to take care of them. So what happens is at the center, each of one of them, they will have a room and they will have people that are taking care of them. So we donate groceries sometimes to the center so that they have something to eat. And then we donate clothes for those that need clothes. And if you see in the picture here, because some of them are not well, they are older people and resources are very limited in some instances. So what we were doing here, we were delivering glucometer machines, because there are those who have what do you call diabetes. So at least that we deliver those glucometer machines. Then there is a nurse that works with them so they can check if the blood sugar is high or low, so that they get the proper treatment that they need. We can move on to the next slide. And then here we also work with the rural clinics because our country has so many challenges, and we try to come in where we can as much as we can. So here we collected clothes for newborn babies, because some of the mothers, they come and they have absolutely nothing, and they don't have much that they can use to take care of the babies. So we will also collect clothes so that at least after delivery, the mother has something for the child. And then we'll also deliver sort of a food pack so that at least if they go home, a mother who has just delivered a baby also needs some sort of sustenance. So we will do that as well. We can move on to the next slide. Here, this is at the disability center that I was talking about, where they were doing those beautiful scarves for us. So those 2 trees that you see there, I think we planted them, if I'm not mistaken, the other sisters will correct me, I think about 3 years ago. And so we can see that the trees are growing so fast. We are very proud, and we are going to be planting much more. And then we can move on to the next slide, just to take care of our environment and make sure that also we contribute something. So it's not only about us as Soroptimists, because you know that in different communities, there's always groups of women who are making a difference in their communities and trying to add value or make an impact in somebody else's life. So here we were donating a printer, so that this is a group of other women who have a society where they help the community around them. So we are donating a printer, copier, all in one for them, so that at least if they do their things, they don't struggle, making photocopies, printing, whatever it is that they need to do. So we also support smaller women organizations so that they keep going, because we cannot operate in silos. Collaboration is best, and then we are not competing with anyone. It's best, and it makes a big difference when we collaborate. We can move on to the next slide. And then this is the newest project that we have embarked on. So at these local clinics, because sometimes when people go to the clinics, they have to wait, I can loosely say, for a long time in the queue while they are waiting for the nursing sisters or the doctors to attend to them. And literacy, or as getting education, is one of the ways that people can be empowered to make a difference in their lives. So we are collecting books, and then in each and every one of them, so this was the first one that we did, so we will call it a book nook, and we will put it there so that when people are waiting, at least a person can get a book and read, and put it back and all those. And we invite the communities to say also, if you have books, come and help us, come and donate the books, so that people can have something, at least if you are waiting, you are also being empowered, through reading. So that is one of the newest projects that we have embarked on. And then I think we can move to the next one. We are working also with a local women's crisis center. This is for women who will be, if we can call them runaways from difficult situations, either from home or from somewhere else, women who've been abused and all those things. And you know that if somebody is running away and they need a place of a safe place to go in. So the crisis center, that is where they go to. So most of the time, the crisis center will not have resources to cater for all the women. So here we had taken a few toiletries. You know, you will take a deodorant, a new toothbrush, a new washing rag, so that at least when they get there, then at least a person has their own package that they can be able to use while they are getting the necessary assistance that they need in the situations that they find themselves in. We can move to the next slide. Okay, so here, this is some of the sisters in our group. As you know that these things, all these things that we are doing, they do not fund themselves. We have to do some fundraising here and there. So this was one of our annual fundraising dinners, where we will invite people to really ask them to donate so that we can sustain this club of ours and make sure that we keep on making a difference in other people's life, one person at a time, one sister at a time, one girl at a time. And I believe that with the collaborations that we are forming in this platform today, we will really, really be able to make sure that we continue to make a difference in people's life. Thank you so much, Catherine, for this platform that you always provide so that we can come and share. Yeah, thank you so much, sisters.
If I can add to what Glebogile has been sharing, we also collaborate with other clubs. Like recently, we sent boxes of clothes to help our sister club in Amtata, an area that was troubled by floods, so that we can help them when people have lost everything. Thank you.
Thank you, Rev. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. My first opportunity with international was when the Italian Milano Club, I think, came to the Bay Area, and I got to meet them. Our Patricia Costello is now going to speak with you because she is our liaison to the Milano Club. And we have a short video to play for them, but it's all in Italian, so she's going to tell you what it's going to say. So can we bring up the Italian slide?
Wait a minute. Okay.
Don't, not that one.
Oh,
That, yes, that's.
I'm going to speak first and then going to show this.
Yes,
Okay.
speak first and then show that slide.
Okay. Thanks, guys. Ok, I'm going to say to our Italian club, buongiorno e benvenuti alla nostra riunione oggi. Okay, the film that you're about to see is very beautiful. It's 4.5 minutes in black and white with a very emotive music in the background, but there are written words. The Milan Club started in 1928, so it's black and white and the music of the time, and it's very interesting. And I'm going to explain what it says on in the film. Okay. In 1928, artist and painter Elisabetta Keller met in Paris with celebrated French surgeon Suzanne Noël. Now, for those of you who don't know, Suzanne Noël became interested in Soroptimism in 1923. She's a very famous French surgeon. In 1924, she set up a club in Paris, the first Soroptimist club in Europe. She founded chapters in 10 other European capitals. In 1930, she was the first president of the European Federation. But back to Elisabetta. When Elisabetta Keller met with Noël in Paris, there were 50 Soroptimists in attendance. Also present from Italy was Alda Darios, who Keller had met a few months earlier at the International Women's Club, Lyceum di Napoli. I'm sorry, di Napoli, di Milano. Oh, I'm going to get in trouble. Keller described the atmosphere as pleasant, filled with professional women engaging in intellectual discussions. In 1928, meetings were held in Keller's atelier in Milan. In October 20th, 1928, Alda da Rios became the club's first president. In 1929, the club held its inaugural dinner. In 1930, Keller became president. The purpose of the club was to increase the value of women artists, intellectuals, and industrialists. This is a very important point, the next point, the last point in the film. In 1934, the fascist regime closed the Milan Soroptimist Club because it was considered too patriotic and had hidden connections with countries outside of Italy. Yeah, sound familiar? Yeah. In 1948, the club started up again. And I'd just like to mention, in 2028, it's the 100-year anniversary of Milano Fondatore. Okay, I hope you enjoy the film.
the next one will be a slide. Okay. Let's see. I'm sorry. I'm giving directions. Nisha, I think she may be able to control her own slides, but we're not sure. So let's put the presentation up. How many of you know Nisha Ghosh? Yes. She came to my club through an accident. I was looking for some fundraising help. And so I went to my sister Soroptimist and I started going around the world and I tried to find somebody in India because I didn't understand the situation in India, which is it's almost impossible to directly fund NGOs today, in case you don't know. So we were talking, but I couldn't find who was in charge. And so every weekend I sat and I emailed anyone I could find on Facebook, on LinkedIn, anyone who said Soroptimist with their name and was in that part of the world, because I just wasn't having any luck. So one day Nisha called me up and she said, I've decided to talk to you because I've gotten your email from 4 different directions in the world, the same email. So she said, I thought I'd better call. So she came and stayed with me and she reinforced for me the extremely important aspect of friendship. And she is a quintessential friendship person. So she's going to talk now about what her journey has been as friendship. And then there should be some food arriving shortly. So after you see this video, which might make you hungry, because she's a great cook, then we will take a quick break to just get food and then come back. We are running a little bit late. I'm trying to respect your time. And so what we will do then is after she finishes talking, we'll get food and then we'll go on with the rest of the presentations to make sure that I promised you 1 o'clock. We'll try to get you out by 1 o'clock. Okay, is that okay? Okay. All right. So can we go to Nisha, please? Nisha, can you come up? Maybe you should, let's see. Can we see you, Nisha, for a minute?
Here.
Hi, Nisha. Hello. Everybody say hello.
Hello.
Here we are. Okay. So now we did have some trouble giving control over, but are you going to then bring up your slides and you will control them?
Yeah, but why am I frozen on the screen?
Well, I'm not sure. It's that we're experiencing overload in the system. So if you want, we can put the slides up and you can tell us to move them either way.
Okay, let me try this first by saying that I can control it, but it's just opening up, right? So here I am.
I don't see it yet, but we don't see it yet. It's only halfway around the world, folks. We can only do so much with technology.
So, okay, I've got this, but I haven't got, I don't know where you are.
Yes, we're still seeing your lovely face with your yellow shawl and purple shirt.
I don't know how.
Shall we bring up the PowerPoint then?
Yes, please. I think we'll need to do that.
Okay.
Oh, 1 minute. I have to shut this down, but I don't know how to get out of it.
You're not sharing right now, so it should be okay. We can override you, I believe. We'll do that.
Okay.
Override your face.
So can you
Where is
start from the very
That's
beginning?
Milano, so that's not the
Very
one.
good place to start.
Oh, I might not have the PowerPoint there. I don't have the
you
PowerPoint.
don't? Oh, wonderful.
Okay,
so let me do it.
Yes, ma'am.
No. I can't get to the Zoom here.
So you're
Okay, can you see me?
We can see you, yes.
Nisha, you got to start share screen.
I know, but you originally
We all
had
see
Shubha
you, but
coming.
we need to see your screen.
Yes, coming
Your,
up.
your desktop. Yeah, it's coming, it's coming. Yay, we have it.
Okay. So, everybody, hello, I'm Nisha Ghosh. Am I audible? All okay?
Audible.
Yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
You can change
Hello,
to a bigger
I'm
screen if you click slideshow.
click slideshow. Okay, is it fine? Right.
Yes.
Hello, I'm Nisha Ghosh from SI Pune Metro East, India. Today I'm sharing with you my experiences of a gift, of many gifts, of my Soroptimist journey. It is the priceless gift of friendship. Our founding mothers gave us some beautiful words. They called Soroptimists a league of women for peace. 104 years later, the role of Soroptimists as ambassadors of peace is as relevant today, and I believe Soroptimists today have a great chance of woman-to-woman connection, nurturing better understanding and goodwill between countries and cultures. Janet Haywood, in her book, traces the effort of those heady but trying days, and in one place, she notes Soroptimists were working for a better world. These are some extracts from her book. Every president in those formative years worked and used friendship to spread Soroptimism, and the genesis of the grant of friendship lies in that vision. I've been very fortunate to be associated with the grant of friendship in 2 clubs that I was member of, plus the personal experience of 2 grants that broadened the horizons of my Soroptimist world. It has also strengthened that my belief that friendship without borders comes with open hearts and open doors. So here's the story. In 2006, when I was a member of SI Pune, the first club in the city, we offered a grant of friendship to 2 Soroptimists from England who responded to our advertisement, Beryl Barter and Kate York. Coincidentally, I was traveling to UK about 3 months earlier to their visit, and they asked if I could meet up with them, so we met. They had several questions about food, weather, clothes, and what to wear, what to eat. I got the impression how anxious they were about the trip, almost as if they were diving into the underworld. With a lot of assurances from me, they arrived and were with the club for 15 days. I cannot relate how well looked after they were with such a diversity of experiences. Beryl's hobby was watercolor painting, so we organized an art session of Warli, which is a tribal art of Maharashtra. Beryl went back and taught Warli to her church Sunday school. Kate was a teacher, so we got the teachers from the club to exchange notes on systems of education in UK and India. A member modeled different ways of wearing saris, and off we went to the village for our signature medical project. A very strange thing happened there. Beryl noted the moringa trees and mentioned she'd seen them in Malawi. Turns out the medical missionary sisters at our village where we worked and collaborated with had planted those trees while in Malawi. Beryl said, but the villagers don't know what to do with the drumsticks that grow on the moringa trees. Guess what? I sent recipes of drumsticks and the moringa leaves and the flowers, all of which can be used and are of high medicinal value. to the Soroptimists of Blantyre in Malawi. Can you see the Soroptimist connection here? Well, Beryl and Kate joined my list of besties, and when my daughter-in-law was in Kent for an on-site project, it was these two lovely ladies that became family to her. 3 years later, I applied for a grant of friendship and was offered by the Nevada Region Club SI Truckee Meadows. I was to be there for their spring conference in 2009, April. The dogwood trees were in full bloom. I had never seen one, and that's the note I got to welcome me, sent by Connie Steinheimer, who was the chair of the Friendship and IWG, they called it, organization. 4 lovely Soroptimists greeted me at the airport as I arrived, President Marilyn Pearson and Norma Rash among them. Norma was to be my host. What a darling woman. 14 years later, she still called me on my milestone birthday. There were a lot of club visits and I was answering questions. What does the red dot mean on your forehead? Is the sari made to fit for each size? Can we see you drape one? Which I did in the picture on the top left. And I did that for the group. Why do you have to touch the feet of elders? Is it that only for women? Or do you see? Or is it everybody has to touch, etc. and etc.? Well, I'm a storyteller, and once I have the mic, you're going to hear all of it. When you go on a grant, they usually ask you, what would you like to do or see, and also about your dietary preferences. So, okay, I told them I would like to meet a real cowboy and visit a school of journalism. Well, the ladies took me to a ranch, Corley Ranch to be exact, no cowboy, but only cowgirl, who taught me how to lasso a stationary horse for practice. Later, one of the members, Marna Griffin, took me to her farm and let me ride her horse, Susie. A member accompanied me to the School of Journalism, and as we were about to reach, she turned to me and said, "Thank God you speak English. I thought I would have to communicate with you in sign language." I think my visit changed a lot of those perceptions. There were other visits to clubs and, of course, the spring conference where I spoke of Soroptimists in India and their work. At the conference, all the past governors of the region were given a royal welcome and wined and dined and sent off in a limousine coach to a very fancy hotel in Reno City. How was I there? Well, Joanne Roberts, the darling woman sitting next to me, a motherly figure, suggested that they take the visitor along with them for that evening. What an honor it was for me. Another highlight was flying down to Las Vegas, seeing all that one had read about. The former mayor's wife hosted a drinks and nibbles evening where I was the chief guest, and I got to meet all the Soroptimist bigwigs of the Las Vegas clubs. Viva Las Vegas, they say. My hostess in Las Vegas was a veteran from Pentagon. I noticed that she watched me carefully and said very little. The next morning, after my arrival, she asked me with a straight face, "Will you do the strip?" My eyes widened and I must have looked shocked and puzzled. "Excuse me," I said. She responded, "I was wondering if you would like to drive down the strip later in the day." OMG. Well, for FYI, the strip is the main road in Las Vegas and with the musical fountains and much more. From the plastic city to nature's bounty, Norma and Paula, another member, took me to the Redwood Forest. We visited Yosemite, Placer County, and I got to have Mark Twain read to me. No, I'm just kidding. That was his statue. On the day before I left, they said, "We're taking you for an Indian meal." And I was like, why do I have to do that? Could I not cook an Indian meal for you? I was at President Marilyn's home and her arm was in a sling. But we dashed to the market, got all the possible things that could make a simple meal. While I cooked, Marilyn was on the phone inviting other members. The result, 15 members turned up, and some of them had never tasted Indian food before. The happy outcome of this visit was that Truckee Meadows became the first friendship link of SI Pune Metro East that was chartered 8 months later. They supported the new club and devoted 2 whole pages of their newsletter to our event. By now, I was firmly hooked on the idea of grant of friendship and heard one Indian member, Lakshmi Parashuram, Lakshmi, I hope you're here still, who had been to Iceland for the Icelandic Week. Now, what was that? In 2010, I visited Iceland because I had family there and took the opportunity to meet Soroptimist too, to explore that program. I met Christine Enardottir through the chat line, and thank you, Kate, for that. Christine met up with me in Iceland, took me to the Icelandic Union office. After we had settled down with coffee at Petlan, I was literally grilling them about Icelandic Week. How did they organize it? Were all clubs involved? And questions upon questions till they were, I think, quite fed up. With all the information, I recall my Iceland trip thinking how women together worked for women. As they say, there is always a reason why people's paths cross. Meeting Christine became a chatline friendship, and 4 years later, she asked if I could suggest somewhere where they could make bags for the Iceland Union 40th anniversary conference. I said, we'll make them. My club had a project of sewing classes for young women. So together they made 350 bags for their meeting. And you can see a picture of then SIE President Ulla Madsen holding our bag. My club made some good amount of money, which we funneled back into the project. As founder president of SI Pune Metro East, I proposed that we should offer a grant of friendship to our link clubs only. The obvious choice was SI Truckee Meadows, our first link club. They had supported us and our project Girls Moving Forward, which was patterned on Women Moving Forward, their project, which I had seen while I was there. The collaboration on this project continued for several years, and we even won a Best Practice Award at the Sigby Federation Conference. The folder you see here was made with handmade paper to welcome the 2 members of that club when they arrived. The Friendship Link officer and I drove down to Bombay 3-4 hours away to receive Carol Ann and Monica House. And the next day, they received welcome from club members and began a 14-day whirlwind of experiences, all very new to them. Every day, 2 or 3 members took them for different experiences of food or shopping or to see the old city. Pune, as you know, is an old city and has historic temples and markets, like the Spice Market. Monica particularly liked our Indian clothes, so I opened up my wardrobe to them and they picked the brightest and the blingiest, as you can see in the pictures. A picture on the top center is when a member laid out a special Maharashtrian meal. For this, the guest was served on pure silver platters with silver glasses. This is a very special way which families use to welcome a new bride and groom on their first visit. Our member honored our visitors in this way. The American Soroptimists enjoyed the session on Spices of India, where 3 members teamed up and presented a whole array of spices and herbs that are used here. One member acquainted them with the names and made them touch and smell each spice, while the other explained the medicinal use of that spice. The third member shared recipes of snacks that used different spices. Monica and Carol Ann took down copious notes, and later Monica bought a spice box which she had seen at my house. The lower pictures are of the visit to the themed resort Chowki Dhani that depicted the best of Rajasthan, our desert state in North India. They visited our projects and gave away the certificates to the closing session of Girls Moving Forward, a project they had supported. At our charter dinner, both the ladies wished to wear saris. So back to my wardrobe and to my jewelry collection. I think we made a good impression and moved the needle to better understanding and goodwill. In 2018, SI Pune Metro East turned 8 years old, and we held our second Ground of Friendship, this time offering it to our league clubs in Barbados. An important part of the 2-week visit was going to be chutney chatter. Pansy Griffith and Andrea Simon from SI Barbados were greeted by the club with a display of chutneys from different parts of India. Some members demonstrated the making and others had the chutneys made beforehand. And mind you, there were an equal number of snacks to go with the chutneys. Andrea and Pansy got the booklet on chutneys which I had put together. I may add here that during this grant of friendship, we also invited 2 members from England and 2 from Sri Lanka for our charter anniversary, so they joined in all the grant activities too. A round of state cuisines followed. The experience of a festive meal on a banana leaf of Bengal, the crispy dosa of South India at a restaurant, a lunch with Andhra dishes at the president's home, and the food fiesta just went on. Now for the food for the heart and soul. We took them to a recital of Indian classical music and to a dance performance. At the dance school, girls as young as 6 years train for Indian classical dance called Bharatanatyam. It takes about 10 to 12 years for them to complete the training, and the girls of different ages performed for us that day. For the Soroptimists of Barbados, it was an eye-opener. Pansy went to visit the stitching project where she gave away prizes to those that completed the 3-month course. Most of the young women at this center do not go out of the house to work, but stitching gives them a skill which earns them some money from while being at home. Also, we had a project with the children of the sex workers in the red light area of the city. We took our visitors to see how children live and what are the conditions in which we function. There is much learning, and in this meeting of Soroptimists, and concern and empathy for lesser fortunate humans was very evident. In 2019, once again, I applied for a grant of friendship, and Camino Real region were kind enough to bestow that on me. Hollywood, studios, and many Soroptimist clubs. Wow, this could be a real adventure. Again, this was planned with the spring conference. One of the themes of the conference days was high heels and the corporate ladder. It was interesting to see how women working behind the scenes in film production in Hollywood faced discrimination and could never make it to the high post with their high heels, I guess. And the shoe on the corner picture is the theme of the film of that day. What a lot of interesting venues and meetings, meeting with the mayor of Lakewood Town, meeting Ginger Cole, who was, I think, then governor of the region, answering questions on my sari and the red dot. The conference, oh, sorry. Okay, you missed one slide. Okay, here it is. The conference was in Glendale on a lovely afternoon I was asked to present on the education projects of Soroptimists in India. Of course, SIA's overarching theme of Live Your Dream took center stage. Later, there was a session with Nina Smart on the structure and the federations of the organization. Incidentally, Nina Smart's partner has family in Pune, where I live, and she has visited me here twice. See how these connections with Soroptimists are made. What an amazing variety of club meetings I got to experience. A real morning meeting, a paint club meeting, an evening tea where the members brought delicious homemade snacks, and the club meeting at the bar. That was new for me. No minutes read, no deep discussions. The password was enjoy. But seriously, wherever possible, we exchanged notes on our club projects that served women and girls at our locations. Now for the Hollywood experience, walking along the Walk of Fame, I think it's called, posing with Marilyn Monroe on the sets of Friends, sitting on the sofa in Central Park Cafe, and a visit to the Getty Museum was a real wow. And at Warner Studios, the Oscar goes to me. I had my moment of limelight, minus the red carpet, the perfect gown, or even the thank you speech. Then there was the touristy bit. Had not even ever seen the Pacific Ocean, so I just waded in to touch the water. I drove a member's RV. No, not really. I don't drive, but I just posed for it. Enjoyed English tea experience in California at the Huntington Garden, visited the South Coast Botanic Gardens at Redondo Beach. The opportunity to exchange Soroptimist work, to enlighten on our culture, our ways, and learn new ways of lifestyles, every meeting left me a richer person. The last 2 days were extremely emotional. I stayed with the Soroptimist Melba Shefris from the Pico Rivera Club. My first time with a Mexican family turned into 3 beautiful days of happiness. As I reached the home, 3 hurly-burly young men came out and greeted me with, "Hello, ma'am." Each one took my bag, my suitcase, even my purse, and walked into the room that had been set up for me. Wow, such politeness, but they were Melba's sons. The 4th young man had helped cook a fabulous meal, and all waited till I reached so we could eat together. That's a picture down there. What I felt during those days, that as if there was a warm embrace around me. I felt I had come home. By day 2, the boys were no longer calling me ma'am, but conversed with me openly. It was Easter during my stay at Melba's house, and I was witness to the whole ritual of family and extended family getting together to cook special meals and sweets. And imagine, I got to be a part of it. What a memorable way to end 21 days of this grant of friendship. After I left, Melba wrote that her husband and her sons felt as if a member of the family had gone away. Imagine, this is what Soroptimist does for you. There had never been an Indian woman in their home, and I had never stayed with a Mexican family. Friendship without borders. So, dear friends, these friendship connections lead to better understanding, where we appreciate the diversity, celebrate each other's cultures, and enjoy the commonality. In doing so, we have made the world a better place. We have spread peace and bonded with the best. And I would encourage all clubs to have grants of friendship. It is the best way to spread peace, to break down barriers, rather than be signing things in conference rooms and at panel discussions. I'd like you to read what Kate York wrote about her grant of friendship experience of 2006. It sums it all. Unfortunately, Kate York passed on some years later. Thank you, everyone, for hearing me out.
Oh my goodness. Thank you, Nisha. Thank you so much. Now what we're going to do, pizza and more food has arrived. Okay. After watching all that food, I thought you might be hungry again. Okay, so please, we're going to take 15 minutes to get the food, get back to our chairs. I'm going to set up with the experiment of adding words, okay, so that we can make that word cloud if we can do it here, okay? So come back, get your food, come back to your seats. Everybody who's online, I'm sorry I can't feed you, but in 15 minutes we will start and we will have everything up and ready to go. Have you put your words in? Yes, people online?
Are we putting it on the chat or the link that you sent us?
On the link. So the link
Okay.
in chat, you go to that and you put your words in.
Yes, we've done it.
Okay, who's done it?
Hi, Shukla. I've done it.
Okay. Thank you.
I have not yet. I want
I've
to
done it.
I've also
Okay.
done it, Anjali.
Okay, people in the room, I have sent you an email with the same link, an email, figuring that most of your phones, you can get an email. And you can do the link on your email, but it's in queue right now. I think it's a few more minutes. So what I'm going to do is go on. And I think that what we'll do is that, Kate, are you on available? Kate Moore?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, so we're going to move, you're going to speak, and I do not have any PowerPoint, I think, or anything.
No, that's
So
right.
you're just going to speak to us. Okay, so we're going to move on and start so that I can make sure that I'm on time for you, okay? And then you look and you'll see this pop up in your Gmail. So this will go on all day today, and eventually we'll have enough words that we can put into that cloud, okay? So we may not see it before we leave today, but I do need enough input to make a pretty picture. And Jillian will help me do that. That's wonderful. Okay, so Kate, can we turn it over to you?
You certainly can. Thank you, Catherine. Well, good evening, everyone from Cheshire, a beautiful county in the UK, and a very special hello from me to all my wonderful chatliners that are here. Now, if you can, I'd like you to imagine you were back in the beginning of 1997. At that point, had you ventured onto the internet? I seem to recall there are only two ISPs, AOL and CompuServe. My late husband George was a member of Rotary, active on their CompuServe forums with Rotarians all over the world. As George had very poor eyesight, I was the one on the keyboard. In February 1997, I invited Hilary Page, the international president-elect, to visit and to enrol 60 new members at my club, where I was president. Hilary arrived to stay, and with her was Janet Bilton, our international executive officer. They were both extremely interested to see exactly what I was doing on the computer, especially as it was involving contact with Rotarians. Hilary immediately recognised the potential for Soroptimist to extend international goodwill and understanding. She challenged me to provide and maintain an online facility that would be in harmony with and enhance the work of Soroptimist. And that was at a time when even Soroptimist International headquarters didn't have a website. So, supported by Hilary and with the agreement of the four Federation presidents, I set up a pilot scheme. And that was launched at the SIGBY conference in October 1997, 28 years next week. Membership soon rose to well over 1,000. But as work and commitments and family circumstances changed, members joined and members left. However, once a chatliner, always a chatliner. Despite today, with different social media platforms, there are still over 200 members online. Originally a closed email list, it's now run as a Google group. Since the launch, it's been free to all Soroptimist. It's been used as a facility to exchange ideas,
projects and to further friendships between individuals and their clubs. We look forward to meeting at federation and international conventions. Our first such event was the Chatline Breakfast at the International Convention in Helsinki in 1999. Can you imagine over 60 women who had become friends on the internet meeting each other for the very first time? It was a very noisy event. Plenty of real, not cyber hugs. Well, since the beginning, we've initiated many exciting and worthwhile projects. The meeting in Helsinki was the beginning of our chat line quilt. Fabric squares were given out and members were invited to produce a square to represent their clubs, region or union. They were sent to a member in Alaska who arranged for the quilt to be manufactured. Affectionately known as TQ, the quilt, it was launched at the SIA convention in Hawaii by the international president, Jane Zimmerman, also a chatliner, and then it commenced its journey around the Soroptimist world to raise awareness of the scourge of landmines and to raise money for Limbs for Life, the Soroptimist quadrennial appeal with our partners, the International Committee of the Red Cross. 10,000 postcards of the quilt and 1,000 small bears were sold around the world for the Limbs for Life project. The quilt was shown at many fundraising events for the project. One example was a concert organised by Japan Chuo region. This was an amazing performance by the Grammy Award-winning artist Kitaro, where I was also privileged to speak about our Limbs for Life project. Back in September 2000, the first club in Mongolia was chartered, SI Ulaanbaatar, and chatliner Sachiko from Japan attended. Now, with others, she learnt that remote people affected by drought had lost their livestock and were at risk of starvation. So, led by Sachiko, the chatline started to raise funds. We donated over 100 sheep and 2 rams at a cost of $25 each. Naran, the secretary of SI Ulaanbaatar, travelled to Mogod, where 787 families lived. There were 81 single mother families and 37 had no animals. The village governor assisted Naran to purchase sheep from the wealthy families, and these were given to 6 carefully selected women families with no livestock, not for food, but to develop their own flocks. Recipients promised to increase the number of sheep as quickly as possible. Each year, until her sudden death, Naran made the annual visit to Mogod with the village governor and oversaw the original recipients donating some of their flocks to even more families. In the early days of the chat line, a member went off on a grant of friendship to Sierra Pacific region and was taken to visit the Soroptimist groves in the redwood forest in Big Basin State Park near San Jose. She met Linda Yule, who ran the Sempervirens Fund. Subsequently, we reserved a group of Soroptimist trees in Soroptimist Grove 8, and we raised money worldwide to protect our special ring of redwood trees. Individual trees are dedicated as memorials to chatliners, and I visited several times, including in April 2004, with my late husband who loved the redwoods. In fact, his memorial tree now stands next to the tree I dedicated in memory of my parents. Chatliner Iona Sachs, the president then of SI Lion's Head in South Africa, told us about 2 young AIDS orphans who were living in dreadful circumstances in a township. They had no home, no care, and were in desperate need. The Lion's Head Club raised money to provide a small house in the township where they could live with a relative and be supported by a social worker. The club covered items including shoes and clothing, but additional monies were needed to cover the costs including food and education, and also an annual visit to their grandmother in the Trans-Sky. We set up a chatline project to support the Lion's Head programme and raise funds. To do this, with their assistance, we employed grandmothers who were caring for grandchildren orphaned by AIDS, and they produced beaded AIDS badges. Before long, they were producing a range of beaded items, including beaded angels and Christmas tree ornaments. It just went on and on. These items were brought to the Sigby conference each year by the delegates from South Africa. They were sold across the world by chatliners, and the money was sent to SI Lion's Head to provide education for our girls. One of our chatliners was going on a cruise with her husband, and he took his golf clubs with him. His golf bag was in fact packed full of beaded items, which were delivered to chatliners at different points of their destinations. Sadly, the eldest girl was murdered by her boyfriend when she was just 16, but the younger sister continued with her education and eventually graduated. She's now all grown up and the mother of 2 beautiful children. She's a digital creator, a recording artist, and has appeared on the TV programme South Africa Idol. And I still keep in touch with her. Of course, Soroptimist is neither a political nor religious organisation. However, since our earliest days in Helsinki, chatliners have responded to requests from members for support during tough times in their lives. Well, it all started when I learnt that Anu, a young chatliner from Finland, was due to undertake major surgery. I posted a request for members to pray for her in their own faith, those with no faith to just send positive thoughts. Our response was overwhelming. Members set their alarm clocks in their own time zone for 9 a.m. Finland. As Anu went into the operating theatre, she informed her surgeon it was rather crowded in there today because there were hundreds of her friends around the world with her. The surgery was a great success, and in 1999, Anu planned a real surprise for our first chatline breakfast. She was a very competent pianist and arranged for a grand piano to be moved into our private breakfast room and played for us throughout the meal. Since then, hundreds of requests have been made asking for support for Soroptimists, their families and their friends. Mary from Alaska was visiting a remote area in India with her husband when she suffered a massive stroke. Her husband contacted their son back home. He asked him to find the address and send a prayer request to the chat line, as Mary put such faith in our support. Amazingly, Julia, a chatliner from Washington State, soon informed me that her son had a friend in the same remote village. He'd already arranged for his parents to visit Mary's husband and to offer help. Mary recovered sufficiently to arrive at our chatline breakfast in San Diego in her electric wheelchair to thank us personally. Many tears were shed that morning. One of our Soroptimites, the little daughter of a chatliner, was due to undergo major surgery, and there was grave concern whether she may walk again. This time we set up a 24-hour prayer network, and on the hour, every hour, somewhere in the world, a chatliner prayed, all focused their positive healing thoughts. When the day came for the surgeon to gently place our little Soroptimite on the floor to see the results of his surgery, she amazed everyone by almost running. These are just a few instances of the enormous number of personal stories that show the love, care, and friendship shared by these Soroptimist sisters around the world. Somehow 28 years have flown by since Hillary challenging me to provide this online facility for Soroptimist set the ball rolling. Just prior to her passing, I attended Hillary's 90th birthday party. There she talked to her other guests about the chat line. She told them that she was so pleased that opening up the internet to the Soroptimist world came in 1997 during her time as international president. And she said that is something for the history books. The two words that have epitomised Soroptimism for me over the past 44 years have been service and friendship. Through our chat line, we have definitely extended the opportunity for service in different parts of the world. We have encouraged our members, and many have gone on to leadership roles, both at federation and at international level. Obviously, I welcome new members and would love to hear from some of you. In addition, through the friendships that developed, we have provided incredible opportunities to visit each other and learn of different cultures, all under the umbrella of Soroptimism, our amazing, wonderful international organisation. Women who have worked since the 3rd of October 1921 to change the world and are transforming the lives of women and girls today. Thank you, Catherine, and congratulations to SI Oakland, the Founder Club. And at this point, may I just say, of course, that Violet Richardson Ward was the daughter of 2 English people. So we have a little foot in Founder Club. Thank you very much. And I hope everybody is enjoying this group as much as I am. Thank you.
Amazing. Utterly amazing. Thank you. Well, I want to just say that wonderful technology. I sent the wrong question on the email. So you will get an email, a second email, as soon as we can send it out to put the link for that word art. What we did was we sent the test question. So that's the part of learning, right? So don't bother to answer the first one, which talks about Slido, but do answer the second one when it comes. It takes about 15 to 20 minutes to go out. So if we don't do it before the end of today, we have 24 hours. We have this time. We have a 24-hour period of today. So you can put your words in whenever you're ready to do that. And I don't know that we'll have it by 1 o'clock. We'll have enough words. But it is the second one that you'll need to do. So that's kind of funny, but it did happen. I'm glad I didn't ask something really stupid. Like, what are you wearing? Or something, silly. I asked my son, I said, could I do a joke about Soroptimist because he's a comedian? And he said, what do you call a grumpy Soroptimist? And I said, I don't know, what do you call him? He said, a Soroptimist pessimist. More of that maybe coming down the road. But I thought it was really funny. That just came off the top of his head. So, okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Nina, are you ready?
Yes, you can change the slides for me, please.
Yes, we will do that. We have just a couple more to go, 2 or 3 more things that we want to share today. I think we'll make it. Still laughing about that, huh? Sorop pessimist. I don't think this is it. So the one that's there should be, it's called Wonderful Journey. Yes, there, I think this is it. Yes.
Give me a moment. My file is not opening here.
Okay, so we have opened the PowerPoint for you on the screen.
Okay.
Looks like Nisha over there in the corner.
Yes.
Here?
Okay. Hello, everyone. This is Naina Shah from India. I'm the National Association of Soroptimist International India, the president of NASI. And my club is the SI Chennai downtown, down in South India. It is a great pleasure, Catherine, to thank you for inviting me here today to speak a little bit about my experiences with Soroptimist. Soroptimist friendship across the world, it's a worldwide local clubs where we all like-minded women come together. We make friends, we have fun, and work on projects that improve the lives of women and girls. And today I'm delighted to share some of the moments I've enjoyed the most on this incredible journey. Next, please. It all began with this lady, Nisha, whom you just heard. I first met her as a Soroptimist from Pune. Though we belong to different clubs and cities, our shared enthusiasm brought us together. We began traveling for SIGBI conferences, and as soon as adventures extended to exploring new places, wherever we went, we connected instantly with Soroptimist. Nisha, ever the planner, would write endless emails and ensure every detail was perfectly arranged. Thank you, Nisha, for introducing me to all this. Next, please. There is something magical about travel. It opens us up to new experiences and people who unexpectedly become part of our lives. As one of the members, Anne Marie from SIE, said, the spirit of Soroptimism worldwide, we never know when or where we will meet. But when we meet, we are grateful because it is always so special. We share the common commitment to our goals, and I'm happy to be part of this global women. Unquote. Next slide. No formal introductions were ever needed. Simply being a Soroptimist created an instant bond. Together, Nisha and I have traveled to UK, Morocco, France, Georgia, Malta, Japan, and the US, discovering new places and creating lifelong memories along the way. Next. Among our many journeys, one of the most unforgettable one was to Japan. We attended the 30th anniversary of SI Sagai, where we were warmly welcomed by the city mayor, as you see in the picture. The next day, we were whisked away to a parlor to get dressed into beautiful kimonos, and we had an array of kimonos put out there, and we could choose what we wanted to wear. And we participated in an elegant tea ceremony at a Soroptimist home, an experience we will always cherish. Next, please. At the celebration dinner, we were touched to see the Indian flag. Oh, it's in the next slide. We were, sorry, slides just moved too quickly. Yes.
Yeah.
Among many, at the celebration dinner, we were touched to see the Indian flag displayed outside the restaurant. We were honored guests and included in their official photographs, and we were warmly welcomed again by 4 regional mayors during the formal ceremony, where I had also the opportunity to address the gathering. It was truly special, and Soroptimist, Mr. Hidaishi, made sure nothing was lost in translation. Every thoughtful detail reflected in the warmth and hospitality of the Soroptimist hosts. Next, please. Every visit we made brought its own story. On many occasions, I cooked a home-style Indian meal for the local members, and it was always a joy to see the delight in sharing the authentic taste of India. Next. Last year marked the end of Nisha's term as NASI president, and I was honored to succeed her. Her theme, Bonding with the Best, truly reflected our shared journey. To express gratitude for hospitality we received over years, Nisha invited 86 Soroptimists from around the world. 24 members from 4 different federations made it to Chennai for the installation. SI President Su Yong honored us with her presence. I curated the Chola Heritage Tour for them, an unforgettable experience that celebrated India's culture and friendship, which you saw a glimpse of it, what Catherine presented in the slideshow. Next. Here are some glimpses of our travel, food, culture, and that made the journey so memorable. On the left, you see the the place we stayed. It was a beautiful place, very authentic, very rich with all the artifacts and the things they had. Each room was different, and it was a beautiful place to be in. Next, please. We were privileged to be guided by an eminent history professor whose storytelling brought every site to life. Here we are at the magnificent Bradrishwara temple, often called the Big Temple. Next. Our guest, our Soroptimist, loved tying the sari draping, and we also visited the palace of the descendant of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, who graciously received our group. Another moment to treasure. There you can see Catherine, almost like a royal lady, sitting in that chair there in the center, and every other Soroptimist did try all this draping the sari. Next. Coming together, and we don't forget our projects. It also meant learning about each club's impactful project. For instance, here you see SI Karno generously donated 5 artificial limbs to amputees in India, and truly a heartwarming and meaningful contribution. You can see Jill putting on the artificial limb on this young girl. Next, please. On many of our visits, Soroptimist clubs came forward and contributed towards various projects in India, a beautiful exchange of goodwill and support across borders. You can see me receiving some donations, and also we visited the Marrakesh, their school in Marrakesh also. Next slide. Research clearly shows that friendships are vital for well-being, especially when they are supportive and make us feel truly matter. Traveling with friends offers a wonderful opportunity to strengthen bonds, build trust, and create memories that last a lifetime. Next slide. After curating the Chola Heritage Tour, my club member Vidya and I were inspired to do more. India has so much to offer in terms of culture, history, and tradition. So we are pleased. To plan another journey, this time across central India, offering a royal experience for us, our Soroptimist sisters. In next 10 days, we will be traveling with Soroptimists from different areas, different regions. As we always say, when we meet, we are grateful to meet because it is always so very special, and we mean to make it very special for them. Next. As NASI president, I also initiated a Zoom session on medical tourism in India, emphasizing the importance of self-care and how India can support our Soroptimist sisters in achieving wellness. Next slide. I don't want to dwell into too many things on it, but just I want to highlight some things. What India has to offer in medical facilities is state-of-art technology, skilled professionals, and affordable healthcare, often a fraction of the cost compared to the Western countries. Many Soroptimists have visited here in India from Bangladesh, from Africa, from UK, and they have come here for treatment and returned home with excellent outcome. This too is an act of friendship, extending care to our sisters worldwide. And next, here also, next slide. Here I'd like to also emphasize on the shorter waiting time in India. In USA or UK, you may take 3 to 6 months to get that special care. In Canada, 4 to 10 months. India, it is just 1 to 2 weeks with immediate care upon arrival. Most advanced cancer care and the first proton therapy center in South Asia and the Middle East is the Apollo Proton Cancer Center, and India the first. And what I want to say is, this is one thing, it's an act of friendship, I would say. If anybody is in need of anything, India is so cheap to get the treatments done. And it is huge in India that medical tourism is catching up. And why not offer to our Soroptimist sisters, if anybody needs to come, they're more than welcome. Next slide. So as we take our friendship forward, let us ignite the minds, inspire to create credible impact in the world. Together, we can continue to make a difference. One friendship, one project, and one heartfelt connection at a time. Thank you so much. Namaste.
Thank you so much, Naina. Really appreciate it. It's amazing what she's an entrepreneur, by the way, multiple ways of doing things, and all of them in sustainable types of projects. So she's really amazing. Okay, Jenny Walker, are you here?
Yes, I am. You're going to show the film.
Okay, we're going to show the video. There should be a video. It's called
And it
Here
follows
Now.
quite nicely from Naina's speech, actually.
Well, I was trying to curate this in a way that kind of made sense.
संतरे की टोकरी घर तो छुड़वाया, अब क्या छुड़ाएगी नौकरी।
रोमियो रोमियो कल के रोमियो भोले शक्ल वाले सारे के सारे मरे पियो रोमियो रोमियो भड़के प्रेमियो काहे गल पड़े हो बिन बुलाए मरातियो मैं तो गई कलेजा संग में हम ले जा एक तो चोरी से है सीना सोरी कभी लगे बोला
She was amazing. If you ever get a chance, you should go there. I'm trying to work right now with some national companies that create these kind of limbs, but from new modern technology, 3D printers. I'm trying to organize what? I'm not on the microphone? I am not. Okay, if you ever have a chance to go. One of my favorite thoughts is I'm trying to organize some 3D material creation is very easy to do. And it's much cheaper than what is being done by, wood and plastic. And then children grow. And so the limbs have to be redone. And a lot of the material can't be recycled. And so what I'm trying to do is get 3D printers and a couple of doctors to go over and train people. And they'll be able to take those materials. And as a child grows, they can just use the same materials again for the same child. Okay, because children don't like, there's a kind of a sense that if you're taking somebody else's body parts or different metals, it's not the same. But if you grow with your own materials, how great is that? Okay, thank you so much. Okay, just two more things to go. Yvonne Simpson, are you here?
I am.
Thank you. Let's do the PowerPoint, please.
I do. I'd like to use my own.
You'd like to use your own? Okay.
Yeah, if I can.
Share your screen,
I can whiz through it a bit faster that way.
All
Does
right.
is that showing up for you?
Yes, it is. Thank you.
Okay, so I just need to. Okay, so while it's loading, thank you very much for the opportunity. So we would say tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. Welcome to my show, my presentation, and a big thank you for including me. I am one of the two conveners for the national project here in Aotearoa, New Zealand. Just going to make sure I can move it on. Okay, so we have, this project has been going on for 3 years. We're now into our 4th year. And we have to say to ourselves, so why are we focusing nationally on ovarian cancer in our country? 1 woman dies every 48 hours in New Zealand from ovarian cancer. And we can change that statistic because 85% are currently diagnosed, most of them at the emergency department, at stage 3 or 4. And we all know that the earlier you get cancer diagnosis, the more you can do to prevent a fatal outcome. So we're working very hard on that. There's no early diagnostic tool, and the early symptoms are very generic to many other illnesses. So we've got a bit of work to do here. I'll move on. We're working with 3 partners. So we are working with the Ovarian Cancer Foundation of New Zealand, Canine Medical Detection and Talk Peach. And we do fundraise for them, but we also work with them on the ground. And I think that's very, very important to know. We've got 2 conveners because we both bring a different set of skills. So Raylene and I are both from Soroptimist International Westland on the west coast of the South Island of New Zealand. And I also belong to the online club for our federation. We've both got a passion for this work, and we're very thrilled to be able to take up the leadership role to bring the New Zealand clubs together for the years 4 and 5. We are supported by a national committee. We report to them bi-monthly, and they give us wonderful support and guidance. We also have 1 club national project club ambassador per club, so we know who to go to, and we also have 2 researchers we call on. So we've got a great team behind us, and that's a real good foundation for us. We set ourselves some very good goals. We undertook a project planning exercise with Sandy Stevens from SI Nelson, who is a master at project management. And so we've set ourselves some specific goals to measure our progress. We want to get 90% of our clubs involved, actively involved, and about 36 activities per year. So far, we've raised, New Zealand has raised $70,000 for ovarian cancer, and we want to bring that up to 100,000 this year, and then tip it over into 132 next year. So we've got some specific measurable goals for fundraising. So those are our first three goals: to get involved and be active and to raise funds. But HEAL, the TEAL, we use a mnemonic. So H is for helping women with ovarian cancer. And for this, we're hoping to raise $10,000 for the Ovarian Cancer Foundation of New Zealand. And they will put that money towards helping women who have been diagnosed. As I said, most women are diagnosed in late stage, and so therefore they need support. So the counselling service that Ovarian Cancer Foundation of New Zealand provides, free counselling, is one thing that we can support, and the other one is physiotherapy. And there is a great need for physiotherapy post-surgery, and so we're hoping to be actively involved in helping specific women with ovarian cancer. And we also have set ourselves some impact outcomes, and we're hoping to get that expecting to get that from the Ovarian Cancer Foundation, that those interventions are useful. So that's the H of HEAL. The E is on education, especially on the early symptoms, because if we can reach, 500 women is not what we're going to reach. We're going to reach 5,000 plus. And we want to be able to get impact feedback from them. We're going to be running webinars, getting posters into GP clinics, and using social media. So we want to get that education component out there. One of the things that we've done and been very successful for us is, it was a surprise. We created a tea towel, and they've got the common forms of the common early symptoms at the bottom there, and we sold those. We thought we'd sell 100, and we sold 450, and we're using that for administration, that money, so we can actually actively promote what we're doing, and we can provide an impact report at the end. So I just want to tell you those early symptoms, like if you can beat ovarian cancer by knowing this. If you know that it involves bloating, eating less and feeling full, abdominal, pelvic or back pain, and going to the toilet, either needing to urinate more urgently, or you have bowel problems, and there's fatigue. So those simple early symptoms are very generic, and we need women to know that they must keep asking for an answer if they do have those conditions as well. We're going to have a project, we're calling it Dunny Drop, and we're getting posters into toilets throughout New Zealand. Now, we're very fortunate that on the ground we range from Auckland right down to Invercargill, the full length of our country, and we're hoping to get these posters into public toilets. And we do know that local councils, with their permission, we can do this, and we can also get the data about how many people would possibly see it. We know, for example, one toilet in our town, which is a tourist town, is visited about 60 times a day. So we can say how many people would be able to see this poster and perhaps learn a little bit about the early signs of ovarian cancer. The A in we're going to do social media as well, but I think I'll move on from that. We're going to have an advocacy campaign. That's the A in HEAL. We want to get the ovarian cancer on the agenda of the International Women's Caucus here in New Zealand. That's the group of women's organisations that come together and prepare to go to CSW. They also give feedback into the CDOR document. So we want to get ovarian cancer in there. Currently, New Zealand has breast and cervical cancer on the CDOR agenda, and we want to get ovarian cancer there. And of course, we want to make submissions to government when ovarian cancer in particular needs are not being met. So that's something that we are really looking forward to doing. Our L is for looking for an early diagnostic tool. There is not one available at the moment. But canine medical detection is an organisation that is looking at and researching for an early tool. So we are aiming to raise $10,000 for canine medical detection, and because we range from the top of the North Island to the bottom of the South Island, we want to work with doctors' clinics to help them with their research. Now, they're looking for a non-invasive urine test for the detection of ovarian cancer. They're using dogs, and they're using them very successfully. Dogs can detect that very particular odour that's caused by early cancer. It's amazing what they do, and the results today have been in the 90+% success rate. So we want to help canine medical detection with that, with funding and for getting the request for research participants out to women in New Zealand. We're doing that by providing GP clinics with leaflets about this and mail outs to other women's organisations and through social media. And what they are looking for is 3 groups of women. This is very much the research level, and they want looking for postmenopausal participants who have had hysterectomies, etc., and young women aged 18 to 25 who do not have a history of gynae cancer, and those who've had benign ovarian cysts. So that this is the specific target group that canine medical detection is looking for their next stage in their research, so that they can actually be of assistance to New Zealand women. The other goal that we're looking to support under L is the Ovarian Cancer Foundation's New Zealand has a campaign called Frocktober, and we're hoping to raise $10,000 to support that. That money goes into research, and so Frocktober is definitely for research. And this is a big campaign, and featuring on this campaign here, you'll see Anthea Penny, and Anthea is our incoming Federation President. So she doesn't always look over her glasses, but she is a member of this campaign, and it's for research. And so New Zealand Soroptimist clubs are supporting this, and we're having high teas, we're having fashion shows, we're having cocktail parties, we're partnering with op shops, we're recycling frocks, we're selling them, we're swapping them, and all the money will then go to Frocktober, and Frocktober campaign is for research for ovarian cancer. So we're really delighted about that opportunity. It's a two-way process with our national project ambassadors. We ask them to report what their clubs are doing 4 times a year, and then we report back the following month on collating that information, and we provide a newsletter quarterly, and if you would like to receive that, you're most welcome to join our database. I'll put the address in the chat, or please contact me where we can send that newsletter to you digitally. The most important thing for us is to move from just raising money to getting the data and the impact. How many are helped? How beneficial was that under helping women? Under the educate to the early symptoms, how many tea towels did we sell? How many saw the dunny drop posters? How many read brochures? And what impact? That's the real tricky bit, is getting the impact of what happened there. And the same with advocacy, what happened, what changed, and under helping the canine medical detection with their looking for an early diagnostic tool, what difference did we make? Because we want to report back to our clubs what impact we did make, and so we can put that in our impact report. That's a very brief overview. I'm delighted to have that opportunity to do that, and thank you very much for this. If you would like to join us, please write to me and I will add you to the newsletter list. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you. One more. That's just the Word document for the OHOD, the Word document, this thing. It's in there. Okay. By the way, this is real research. Marin County, you may know, has an extraordinary amount of breast cancer in women. And they are also doing this type of research for breast cancer. And so this is a real way for, it's so interesting that now it isn't, dogs aren't man's best friend, they're women's best friend. Okay, so pay attention because this is something that deserves your attention. This is my last inspiration, except all of you, which are my true inspiration. But yes, can you bring that back up? That. Oh, will you exit your share, please? Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so OHOD, you should, if you did not get this flyer, pick it up at the front desk over there at the DECA front desk. This is Open Heart, Open Door. This is our European-based, and she can't be here today, Henny, but it's a European-based way for you to get a hold of somebody who's a Soroptimist, and you can do various things with them. They have home hospitality. What you do is you get on a database and you say what you can give. So for instance, I have a room in my house that I can use when I'm not using, I use it for abused women and sheltered women right now. But if it's free, I can take a Soroptimist who's visiting. Nisha stayed at my house. Okay. So sometimes home hospitality, 1 or 2 Soroptimists or a couple, someone to guide you around town, an exchange visit on a professional level, a house exchange for an agreed period, exchange with young relatives. Maybe you've got a grandchild or a child who wants to go to Spain. My daughter-in-law hosts people in Sevilla. Okay. But it's very private. You have to understand, privacy in Europe is a big deal. So that means there's nothing online. You don't see this online. The most important thing for you to do is contact info@ohod.eu. Okay, it's on the flyer. Pick up the flyer. It takes a while to get your name on there to get you accepted. You have to be a Soroptimist. You have to have a Soroptimist number. This database is entirely private. It comes out once a year. It's one of the most extraordinarily useful tools if you've been inspired to travel and see your sisters all over the world. And I truly want to thank you all for attending. The new and real word survey is now in your mailbox. Okay, so it's the top one. If you can't do it now, you can do it. I'm going to end this at 1 o'clock. I swear it's 30 seconds. If you want to, you have until midnight tonight to get it in. And then someday Jillian and I will get it. Yes. No, I have not been asked permission or given permission for that. So sorry, not yet. Yes. I can get access to the chat because it is a universal thing. So I will say that Sujoy we'll take the print of the chat, whatever we have, when we download. I have it, so I can have that for you. Okay, because I have that. It's privacy rules, right? Okay. Anything else? I want to say thank you. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, Sister Kathy. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you, sisters.
Namaste, as they say. Bye. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
We can't take a picture online, but we could take it. Do it here. To come up in front. This is a good idea. So people stay online for a minute.
Okay.
Is that okay?
And turn the chat off.
Okay. All righty.
Here, you need to stand up.
Yeah, I'm just trying to make it a little bigger.
There you go.
Okay. Come on, those of you in the background, let's go. Get our Chabot TV too. And get our good Chabot TV people, our filmers and our DECA people. Okay? Come on. DECA, come on up here. DECA. Future Soroptimists.
Soroptimite.
Soroptimites? Nice. Yeah, that was cute. That's really cute. We have a new one. Soroptimites.
Yeah.